I am 102 years old, and I have a confession. I wasted 80 years of my life. Most people my age talk about the good old days, but I am here to tell you about the ghost that lived in my chest. I spent 8 decades being a coward. I am not talking about wars or heroes. I am talking about the quiet, suffocating fear of what other people thought of me. I let the whispers of neighbors build a cage around my soul. I stayed in a job I hated because it felt safe. I turned away from the only woman who ever loved me because I was afraid of what my family would say. The tragedy of being 102 is not that my bones ache. The tragedy is the clarity that comes when it is too late to act. I look at my hands now. They are thin and spotted. I realize they spent a lifetime holding on to nothing but caution. I was so afraid of making a mistake that I forgot to make a life. You see, fear is a master thief. It does not take everything at once. It steals your afternoons. It steals your dreams, one small compromise at a time. It whispers that you have plenty of time left. Then, one morning you wake up and the sun is setting on a century you never actually claimed. I am sitting on this bench today because I have a final warning for you. It is a secret to peace that I found in the dark. If you ignore it, you will waste your life exactly like I did. Her name was Clara, and she had eyes like a summer morning. When I was 25, she asked me to leave this small town and move to the city with her. She wanted to open a bakery, and she wanted me to be her partner. I can still smell the flour on her apron. I can still feel the way my heart raced when she looked at me. But I said no. I told her I needed a stable job. I told her the world was too dangerous for dreams. The truth was, I was just afraid of what my father would say. I was afraid of failing in front of everyone I knew. So I watched her train pull away, and I stayed behind in the gray office for 40 years. Now I sit in this room and the silence is so heavy I can almost touch it. My children are grown, and my wife passed away 10 years ago. She was a good woman, but she was never the one I truly loved. I lived a lie to keep the peace. I look at the dust dancing in the sunlight, and I realize that my safety was actually a prison. I traded a life of passion for a life of comfort. And let me tell you, comfort is a cold bed when you are 102. I see Clara in my dreams every night. She is still 25, and she is still waiting for me on that platform. I reach out, but my old shaking hands find only empty air. I spent my strength building walls to keep the world out, but all I did was lock myself in. I am a monument to the things I never did. The cruelest joke of all is the silence of the cemetery. When I was 40, I stayed in that gray office because I feared my father's disappointment. When I was 60, I didn't travel because I feared my neighbors would call me irresponsible. I lived my entire life looking over my shoulder, checking for a nod of approval from people who didn't even know my favorite color. And do you know where those people are now? They are gone. My father has been under the dirt for 40 years. My neighbors are names on stones that nobody visits anymore. The society I was so desperate to please has moved on, and it never cared about me in the first place. I sacrificed my soul to satisfy ghosts. I stand at my window now, watching the young people walk by with their phones and their hurry. They don't see me. To them, I am just a shadow in a cardigan. It hits me like a physical blow to the chest. I was so worried about what they would say, but they aren't saying anything. They never were. I realized too late that people are not thinking about you. They are too busy drowning in their own fears. I wasted my only shot at life because I was performing for an audience that wasn't even watching. I chose a boring, safe path to avoid a few whispers, and now I am the only one left to hear the echoes of my own regrets. I spent a century being a background character in my own story. I was the king of a kingdom made of dust and what-ifs. I have everything I ever worked for, and yet I have absolutely nothing at all. Listen to me very closely, because I do not have much breath left to give. The secret to peace is not in your bank account or your safe choices. The secret to peace is being okay with being the villain in someone else's story. I spent 100 years trying to be the hero for everyone else, and I lost myself. My final warning is this: stop waiting for a permission slip that is never coming. You are waiting for the right time to start that business, to take that trip, or to tell someone you love them. But the right time is a lie told by fear to keep you paralyzed. Look at my hands. They cannot hold a steering wheel anymore. They cannot hold a lover's hand. Your hand still can. I am asking you to be brave enough to be misunderstood. I am asking you to be selfish with your happiness. Go and make the mistake you have been thinking about for 5 years. Go and fail spectacularly. I promise you, a broken heart from a life lived fully feels 1,000 times better than a heart that is whole because it was never used. I am sitting on this bench watching the last of the sun disappear, and I am finally at peace because I am telling you the truth. Do not be a monument to what-ifs. Do not be a shadow in a cardigan. Stand up. Walk away from the people who hold you back. The world will whisper regardless of what you do, so you might as well give them something worth talking about. Live for the version of yourself that is 102. Live so that when you sit where I am sitting, you can smile at your scars instead of crying over your regrets.